Today we are going to brain dump on our periodic table. So first we are going to start in the atom. So in the atom we have protons, which are positive. They are inside the nucleus. We have neutrons, which are neutral. They have no charge. They are inside the nucleus. Electrons are negative, and they are located outside the nucleus. In the nucleus, where the protons and neutrons are, this is where most of the mass is. Now, we're going to look at the atomic number. Remember, our atomic number equals the protons, which equals the electrons, 8. Next, we have our atomic mass. The mass number is equal to the protons plus the neutrons. So we have ape. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to have man. So the atomic mass minus the atomic number gives us our neutrons. So here is man, M-A-N. Ape, man. Now, we're going to talk about what's on our periodic table. And we have our metals. And we're going to write the characteristics of our metals. They are on the left side. They have a shiny luster. They are malleable. And ductile. Good conductors. And poor insulators. Now we have metalloids. The metalloids have properties of both metals and nonmetals. Remember that being smart gets all students to pass. That's how you remember the metalloids. The metalloids, remember, are on the staircase. Being smart gets all students to pass. Now we have nonmetals. Properties of nonmetals, they are on the right side of the periodic table. They are mostly gas. They are dull. They are good insulators. And poor conductors. All right, now we're going to move to the horizontal rows that are on the periodic table. The horizontal rows are what we call periods. So we are going to do our P like that with the arrow to show it goes across. And remember that the periods tell us the number of energy levels. Or another word for energy levels is energy shells. Now, we fill those shells with the rule 2, 8, 8. All right, we're going to label our periods now. So period 1, and you will draw the nucleus, and then 1 energy level. Period 2, the nucleus, 2 energy levels. Period 3, 1, 2, 3 energy levels. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the rows. Periods go across. Groups are the vertical columns. So we're going to write groups, or what we also say is families. Groups are families. Those show us that they have similar chemical properties and similar reactivity. Now, our groups are numbered, and remember from our large periodic table that we skipped group 3 through 12. These are called the transition metals. These guys do not follow the same rule as the other groups. So now we're going to come over here, and we are going to circle, just put a circle around one group, so that way you know that we're talking about groups. And the group number, put a box around the group number. So 16 is the group number. Now the groups also tell us about the valence electrons. So now on your paper, write valence electrons. The valence electrons, remember, determine reactivity. They show us reactivity. So, valence electron for group 1 is 1, 2. Then we're going to come over here to group 13. And remember that we drop the 1 and we circle the 3. Same thing with group 14. Drop the 1, circle the 4. Okay, so these have 3 valence electrons, 4 valence electrons, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, we are going to look at group 1. Group 1 are our alkali metals. So write alkali. These are the most reactive metals. Most reactive metals in group 1. Now we're going to go to our halogens, which are group 17. So we're going to turn it again, go to group 17 and write halogens. And these are our most reactive nonmetals. So most reactive nonmetals are our group 17. Now group 18 are our noble gases. These are very stable. They are non-reactive. And this is because they have 8 valence electrons. So they have 8 valence electrons, which means that they are happy. He, because remember, don't forget helium. Helium has 2 valence electrons, but it still has a full shell and is still happy. It's still stable. So noble gases, 8 valence electrons, stable, non-reactive. Now, at the bottom of our periodic table, we are going to write, over here on the side, what the trend is that we find. So draw an arrow down. And as you go down the periodic table, you notice that the atomic number and the mass increase. Reactivity also increases. So as you go down a group, the atomic number and the mass increases, and the reactivity increases. Now, we're going to put an arrow to the right. So as we go across the periods, the atomic number and mass increase. We also find that the number of valence electrons increase. So as you move across the period, the atomic number and the mass increases, and so does the valence electrons. Now we will be doing this several times over the next week.